Hello, you beautiful people. It's episode 2 of the Sandbag Show. Your hosts, as always, Kendall, William. We got some good content today. Let's do it. Welcome. It's the Sandbag Show. Guys, episode 2 already.
Number 2.
Weekend.
Great to be back.
Yeah, I think so. Refreshed a little bit.
Feel better.
Yeah.
Better than last time.
Agreed. It was a terrible show. We're going to do another one today. What are you drinking today?
Me?
Yeah, what are you drinking? What's your drink of choice?
I just have my water.
What is your other drink?
Water.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I always like to water, but different.
Water, but different this time.
It hits different. It's different. Well, again, as always, my name is Kendall McNelly. My co-host, William Anger. Yeah, we suck at music, and that's why we're here. We're here to talk about it. Dude, do you like this? I know that no one could see because it's a podcast, but I put the Shaco up on like this little stand we found in the office.
It's elevated now.
Yeah, you can actually see it from
Right.
once. we're up in our game for the second podcast. We're going all out.
This time we thought about things.
Yes. Good grief. Yeah, we got a bigger budget this time. But
We have a stand.
Yeah, we got a stand. We bought it. It's all wood and stuff. Oh, now it's moving. We might tell the story of this Shaco. I don't know.
Nah.
Not now, but it's terrible. It's really old. Now I'm messing it up. It's fine. We'll get it. We'll get it eventually. It'll be okay. So, I don't know. What's been happening with you? We're a week in. How do you feel?
Well, like I said, much more comfortable this time. I don't know, man.
Having a bad time? Rough time?
Nah, this time I feel great. Last time, I guess it was just those first podcast jitters. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, everyone knows.
Finally settled in with the move. I got
move.
I got my cabinets and my stove and all that.
Oh, so that's in?
Yeah.
Wow,
today,
that took
actually.
so long.
Yeah, it was way too long. Having to walk upstairs to use the stove. But I can cook my own bagel bites.
Your bagel bites. How was your who's your guy? Your cabinet dude. What's his name?
His name is Kevin.
Kevin.
Yeah, man.
Ugh.
And he's doing
Sorry to all those Kevins out there.
He's doing our cabinet. He did my cabinets for free. So it was like one of those things where I couldn't complain, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he just took so long, and it's like I'm paying rent for a room with no, like, it's just a concrete room with my couches and stuff that I bought. So,
did you buy a rug?
yeah, man, the rug was so nice. Like, that's the first thing everybody compliments. I got it at Walmart. It was total impulse buy.
Really?
I needed a
How
rug.
do you impulse buy a rug?
Well, you search for rugs a lot, and then you see a rug, and you're like, "That's it. That's the one.
That's it.
I'm getting
I got it.
Oh, what about
That's
you,
really
man?
funny.
I heard you wanted to talk about your jiu-jitsu classes you've been
I don't
taking.
want to talk about it. Okay, here's the thing. When you start any martial art, you don't know anything. It's the same thing with like marching band. You go in and you're like, I don't know what this world is. I'm losing my mind.
Except you're hitting people.
No. We're not hitting people. So
yeah.
jiu-jitsu is grappling. So it's kind of like wrestling, but it's on the ground. Good grief, dude. Like, I'm just getting getting murked every time I go in.
Yeah, man. It's so funny to hear about. You're just like, yeah, learned some jiu-jitsu today. I just got my ass kicked for an hour. It was whatever.
Like, literally, okay, so we do like an hour of drilling. Okay, so it's like we learn different moves. We learn the positions. And jiu-jitsu is like a spider web, okay? It's like a chess match almost, but physically. And you have these different counters and moves that you can do to get you into better positions. In a street fight, jiu-jitsu's excellent. Or just defending yourself, you know how to control another human being, which is incredible. And they teach you how to use that wisely, which is really great. For me, I felt incapable all the time. I'm a tiny dude, I still am, and I just wanted to feel like I could handle myself if need be.
Right.
So we do have most of the class is drilling, so we learn those moves and we just drill them. And I just literally came into this class not knowing anything, and I've watched it, I've heard about it, that's it. And so these people were like, hey, so and they're like halfway through a course or whatever, and I had missed all of it, and they're like, well, we'll watch you, whatever. And so I just like do these moves, and it's just dumb.
Sounds like when somebody gets left behind in math, they're like, yeah, you'll
get it.
We'll do something with you. You'll be there.
Do you know your letters? Nah, it's fine. It's fine. We'll figure it out. And they're like, there's
Man.
letters in math?
Speaking of jiu-jitsu and just fighting in general.
Yes.
I remember when we first became friends, so to speak, and I think we talked about it in episode number 1. I don't think we liked each other too much. And I remember it was me, my older brother, and you in your front yard, and we just fought just all the time. We would just
in our
wrestle.
front yard?
Well, in your front yard.
Oh.
We would go out there, we'd make a fire, and we would just literally just fight, just on the ground. I'm pretty sure you got choked out one time by my brother. Just like
yeah. Well, okay. No.
laid out.
Okay, so I'm stubborn. I'm super stubborn. And in jiu-jitsu, when you get choked out, these people know how to choke you out. And so, like, if you don't tap, you will die, or like you'll just get like suffocated, or you'll pass out.
Right.
And so, like, tapping is saving your life, and that's why jiu-jitsu is great, because you can go super hard and not hurt anybody. It's kind of like, instead of like boxing, if you go full out in a fight in boxing, you just get your head smashed and like you just lose brain cells. But jiu-jitsu is nice because we just, I don't know, we go hard and we don't have to worry about it. But yeah, I remember I was at like one of my girlfriend's houses. I think we were all there for like some event or whatever.
I remember this.
Yeah. And he got me in a headlock, and I want to say, like, I don't even know if he knew his strength or if he knew, I don't know. He may not have had me in a good position, or he just really didn't know what he was doing, or I was that stubborn. I didn't do anything. Didn't tap, I just wanted to, I don't know, force my way out. I was like, I'm doing this. Ugh. And I was much tinier than I am now, so it was just like.
I will say, getting choked out is just so much nicer than like getting
hit,
knocked out.
Yeah,
it's like
because,
infinitely nicer. Like you wake up and it's almost tranquil. You're almost like, when you wake up from a chokeout, you're like, yeah, that sucked, but it's not the worst in the world. But
yeah, exactly.
The worst pain I've ever had is just
getting knocked out.
Opposite of a face plant, where it's just like.
Oh yeah.
Busted
Because if you get knocked out, that's the scariest thing about a street fight. Is if you get knocked to the dome and lights go out, it's not the punch that does damage. It's your head hitting on the concrete.
Yeah.
Ugh. Here's the thing, people. Learn self-defense technique so that you know how to not hurt someone in a life or death situation, but also protect yourself. Street fights can happen. The best thing, learn how to run. Literally run from everything. Run for your dreams. No, just like most fights are avoidable, talk it out, or
True.
literally just leave the area. Like, that's just like, I don't know, avoid confrontation. There's no reason to get in a fight. And if you are like in power and you do have that knowledge, use it wisely, don't just go choking people for the sake of it.
Speaking of avoiding confrontation completely and just avoiding a problem completely, another thing going on this week is I quit my job yesterday. And it was the worst experience ever.
Your job or quitting it?
Both, which is why I quit it. I've only ever had 3 jobs.
Okay. Yeah.
And I've quit all 3 of them, obviously. That's how it works, unless you get fired. But I'm not.
But you didn't get fired at any of them?
No. So this is the only job
bad?
that I've ever not put in like a 2 weeks or anything like that. And so
okay.
When I say I avoided confrontation, I'm talking like I sent a message, they didn't reply, and they deleted my like account on like the scheduling app that we have. And it was just, I felt like, I don't know, such a baby like hiding behind my device. It was so terrible.
You're like those Facebook Karens that just like post a really terrible message on Facebook that they would never say in person.
I worked at Red Lobster, and
wow, don't go to Red Lobster, I guess.
When I sent the message, I heavily debated. I had it typed up and everything, but I was talked out of it. I had these 2 little like lobster emojis at the end of my message. Just like, I want you to know I had a good time.
Could you imagine being a manager, getting a text and just having those lobster emojis? That's the middle finger.
Now have fun, replacing the person for the schedule you made for me.
Didn't you have like work the next week?
The next day.
Oh wow. You cut it real close.
I'm really sorry about that, Red Lobster. You'll be fine.
Did you not? So they didn't reply. Did you like text more people?
So it's a pretty funny story.
Yeah.
The first manager I texted,
Okay.
I texted specifically because I assumed he wouldn't reply because he would just be like, whatever, But
okay.
instead of that, he replied back to me, and I'm so confident this was his phone number because he gave it to me. But after I texted him this long thing, like, because I did feel bad, I was like, I'm sorry, but I'm not coming back. The message I get back is, you have the wrong number.
What?
He told me I had the wrong number, and all of me thinks that he was just like, I'm just going to call him tomorrow.
Bro, imagine that.
See what's up. And so when that happened, I copied that message, replaced his name with another manager's name, and just sent it to all of them. I was like, nobody better call me.
Imagine, like, being in that manager meeting and like, hey, did you get this text from William? And it's like, yeah, it's verbatim.
This information will be received. It will be received.
That's awesome.
It was so terrible.
So why did you quit your job?
I've never hated a job more than I've hated Red Lobster.
Really?
Yeah. And
you've worked Subway at a gas station.
Yes.
How could Red Lobster be bad?
Well, I consider myself a hard worker. Personally.
Okay. All right.
I don't have, like, I don't know, the exact criteria to, like, back that up. Like, I can't tell you why I consider myself a hard worker.
You just do.
But I do.
Okay.
So I hate hating my job. And I don't know, man.
That's respectable.
Something about being there made me not want to be there. And why do that when I could do anything else? So that's what I'm doing.
Anything else?
Anything else.
That's
please.
really funny. I feel. What if you just, like, quit your job because you were like, bro, this podcast is gonna blow up in 2 days,
huge, man.
Bro, if this becomes the next Joe Rogan, that'd be pretty impressive. Actually, you could really text Red Lobster again and be like, yo,
listen,
this is what you did.
Sponsor.
Sponsor. What if we get Red Lobster as a sponsor? Those Cheddar Bay biscuits, baby.
I'll turn them down. I'll fight before Red Lobster sponsors here.
What if we get like a multi-million-dollar deal?
I'll turn it down.
Why would Red Lobster sponsor this?
I don't care if they're the first. They're the first people to ever want to sponsor us. It's not happening.
Can I veto that?
They made me feel too bad.
Can I veto that?
Yeah.
I mean, officially, I am host.
Yeah. You can, I guess.
That's fine. That's insane. Yeah, I've definitely quit. Well, I've quit all my jobs, I think.
Who gets fired anymore?
Yeah. My least favorite, though, was I quit one job. That was my first job. I worked at 14, by the way. I got this position, like, super early as a kid, and they just let me stay. I don't know why. But then halfway through, I was like, I got a better position, and I get to go be a professional. I worked at a jewelry store, and so I was like, bro, I'm high maintenance, like I'm a big deal. I get to wear suits and stuff, and
didn't they have you plunge toilets at that job?
Oh, I did everything.
Yeah.
I was literally the everything man. They called me Cinderella. I'd come in, Cinderella, and I'd be dressed to the nines, I'd have
Look at me. I'm in high school. I'm wearing a tie.
Yeah. And I'd show up in that,
I tied this tie myself.
I got the Eldridge knot tie. Good grief. I had all sorts of ties. My dad's like a big tie dude, and he likes to, like, match all of his colors. And so, like, I also acquired that.
It's all come downhill when you're a tie dude. Yeah, that's Kendall.
That's when you know.
He's a tie dude.
He's a tie dude. And I showed up, like, I didn't even have, like, I didn't have a good vehicle. I was in high school. It was, like, my first car. It was one that, like, my brother bought in really good condition. He ran it into the ground and ran it across the country and then gave it to my dad, who then gave it to me.
Oh, I know the car.
Yeah, it's a 1998 Buick Riviera supercharged. Look it up. It's a sleek car.
Supercharged.
But I had, like, the worst model. It was falling apart.
It's an actual tank. It's just made of metal.
Yeah, it literally everything.
Everything is just metal.
Steering wheel, radio, like the seats, everything. That car was a tank, though. It was a good car.
It's always nice to have one of those cars as a tank, but then, like, I don't know, man. Something about having one of those cars, you get too confident.
You do. I got very I was stupid. When I drove that car.
Yeah, but you were also we're all stupid.
Do you know how fast I got on that car once? Do you remember the number?
No.
I remember I told you.
Because
it was very specific number.
Big fast.
Big. I got up to it was like 8 a.m. No. It was like 6 a.m. in the morning going to work. I was on this big stretch of highway. No one was around me. No one was in the car. Just me. I was like, I don't care about my own life. No one else. No one else is around me. And I put that car at 115.
They call it flattening speed.
Yeah. So what I did, flattening speed. so I was gunning this car. Granted, it's an older car, but it zooms.
Gets up and goes.
Yeah. So I get up to 90, get up to 100, and I get up to like 112, 114, and I'm about to hit 115. Bam, hit 115, my car stops. Like, not running, but like it wanted to go into another gear, but it didn't have another gear to go into. So it just went, and like I was slow all the way back to like 80. So
it's like your car, like audibly telling you, like, calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down.
We can't do this. We can't do this. So I never went past 115. So I drove really fast as a kid. I was like 17.
I've never hit 100.
Really?
I've never hit 100, not one time.
Wow.
I've never put my foot all the way down on a gas pedal either.
I've done that, and I've also hit 100 multiple times, like many times, at least several times a month.
I like waking up.
I don't know if that's a good thing to talk about.
I like waking up. You know what I'm saying? Just like waking up in the morning. I typically like to do that, and I plan to continue doing that.
Look, man, you gotta
wake
have
up.
some.
You gotta wake up.
No. You gotta have some kind of fun, bro. Could you imagine? I want a Tesla, like eventually.
I worked at Red Lobster. I had the most fun. What are you talking about?
But like, have you heard of like the ludicrous speed on a Tesla?
Ludicrous?
Yeah. So
I've
like
never.
they have the Tesla like Model X and like the Roadster or whatever, and so like you go insanely fast. It's a super high acceleration, like 1 point something. Ethan's trying to give me numbers. It's like 1.6, 2.6.
I think it goes like 0 to 60 in 1.5.
Ooh. Yeah. So they have
Fast.
an incredibly amount of like speed, and then they have a ludicrous mode, which is like you flip it on.
I can see it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ludicrous.
And then
It's
you
like,
just go, and then a lot of people talk about it. It's like a roller coaster. They just like zoom, and it's all electric, so it's just like there's no gear changing.
right. It's just
So it's just like
straight speed.
Yep. McLaren did like I don't know why we're talking about cars, but we're talking about cars. McLaren did a similar thing. They're like a super high-end sports car. They put an electric motor and a gas motor in it, and whenever the gas motor would like hit the clutch,
Right.
the electric motor would kick in. That thing zooms, dude. A McLaren P1, man. Good God. Yeah, love. Granted, I have an SUV now, and it's got that big hole. I hit a deer. Deer's fine, by the way. Literally got up and ran away. I drive an SUV. You know what? I ain't going fast
your car,
anywhere.
Man. Destroyed your car.
And what's funny is like, okay, so I had already had a terrible night that night, and we had just finished like a long high school game. I was teching that game. Maybe it was after competition.
I don't remember the specific night.
I don't remember. And I was driving home, and like, I guess I was looking in my rear view mirror or one mirror.
It happened
and
so
then,
fast.
Yeah. And I just hear this boom, like it just my car crunched.
Yeah.
And
They say it's like impossible to hit the brakes when something runs out in front of you. Like
yeah. And I just stopped the car. There was a lady that came out. I didn't even know what I hit.
Right.
And a lady was like, "Yo, are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I didn't even know what I hit." She's like, "You hit a deer." And I was like, "But where is it though?" I found like hair in the crevices of my car. Like I was picking out deer hair. It was ridiculous. And she was like, "Yeah, the deer's fine. It just got up and ran." I was like, "Bro, I hit you at like 60. Like, how are you still alive?"
It's one of those things where it's like, the deer got up and ran away. It's fine. Deer runs away with like broken leg, three crushed ribs.
And it's like,
It's
what?
discombobulated. Can't hear anymore. It's like, deer was fine, dude. It was walking.
And like, you know, I'm not like a hunter or like somewhere, you know, like I don't do animals. Like I don't have anything to like, if I kill the animal, I'm throwing it away. Like I
Right.
have nowhere
Leaving
to
it
put
there.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nowhere, like I'm going to be courteous and like maybe drag it to the side of the road, but like I don't know what to do with a dead animal. I feel like I should. My cousins know a lot about deer hunting and whatever. I don't know, man. Don't hit deers. Also, don't hit ATMs. That was my first crash. That was so stupid.
I've never crashed a car actually.
Really?
I hit a mailbox one time, but it was like a big brick mailbox, so it screwed my car up, not the mailbox.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
those huge ones that are just giant.
That was
mountains
dumb.
of brick.
I remember that. That was in our neighborhood, right?
No, it was in Dylan's neighborhood.
Oh, okay. Word. I did not.
It was in a neighborhood.
Hey, neighborhood. Dude, that's ridiculous. That's really funny, though. Yeah, I destroyed the front end of my car with an ATM. It was really funny. I remember one of our old friends, like, complained. I think we were complaining about his driving. and we're like, dude, you're the worst driver. You're terrible. You really need to fix this. And he was like, but Kendall drives like super fast, and like, you know, his car's messed up. I was like, bro, how many wrecks have I had with any sort of person or vehicle? Zero. Just an ATM that doesn't move.
You gotta feel worse about that one though.
I don't know. I didn't have to pay insurance. I went to the bank and I was like, yo, I gotta pay for this pole that I just destroyed. How do I do that? And they're like, oh, I mean, we didn't really expect you to come in. So like, I guess we'll give you a call. Write down your number. And I wrote down my number, and they never called. And then guess what? 3 weeks later, I go to put in a deposit. It's standing.
That's what we like to hear.
Facts. Honestly though. So I feel like we need to
move away from the cars.
Well, yes, but I was gonna do that. I feel like you need to get a tattoo of a lobster somewhere.
Of a lobster?
Yeah, or like a decal in your car.
I hate it. I quit the job for zero reason besides I hate it. Good pay,
rough,
good people. I liked it there.
You just really didn't like it?
Nah, dude. Like something about it just like had this. It's like when I showed up, there was like this cloud that like would be over me. I hated it so much. I quit the job.
That's rough.
I literally left. Everybody responsible around me was like, man, you got to put in your 2 weeks, you know? You got to be a good person. I was like, the sole reason I'm quitting the job is because I dislike it so much.
Couldn't you just tell him that?
Dude,
you said,
do you think they would care, bro? Hey, managers at Red Lobster,
but like,
I don't like it here.
2 weeks, though. 2 weeks.
2 weeks, bro?
That's super easy. Weren't you starting your next job in 2 weeks?
And a half.
So you had more than enough time.
Yeah.
You just were like, screw it.
Nah. Chilling. Right now, I'm at the Sandbag Show. Ting.
I got money from Sandbag Show. What business expenses have you had to pay for so far for the show?
I bought Wendy's before I came in today.
Yeah, but that was for you. We also messed up the Wendy's order. Ethan's very upset. I don't go to Wendy's that often, and the Wendy's that we went to was not that
bad.
Good. Bad. They forgot our
I'm
extra jalapeno sauce.
I'm calling you out, Wendy's. I ordered extra sauce.
We didn't get the sauce. I also didn't order Ethan's shake or fries, just the burger. So, oh well.
Hey man, you run to the Wendy's for me, get me a burger, a shake and fries. Nah,
just gonna get the burger, and I'm gonna get it wrong too. God, that's funny.
That's really funny, actually.
Speaking of destroying things, okay, so my dad marched drum corps in the 70s. He marched the beginning of Spirit of Atlanta. So when they were really, really good, up at the top of the charts,
right?
Excellent. They screamed to like top 5 within a few years, within the time that my dad was there. He's a drummer. I'm a horn player. Very, very different worlds. But that's what really like introduced me into, hey, there's this thing called drum corps. And I remember him telling a story. It was his first year, rookie year, and he grew up, again, small town like I did, and had no idea what drum corps was. So, granted, neither did Spirit of Atlanta. They were just starting. But he got into Spirit of Atlanta the first year that they did it. And so halfway through, they were talking about, hey, during finals, during these like last few times that we're going to get in, you guys need to be in time. Like flawless between you and the other person. And drumline's hard. Drumline's really hard. It's not just your own individual playing, but it's also like you got to nail it with each person beside you and then 6 other people across. And it's not like horns where like depending on where you are, you can kind of fudge it and get away with it. But like
it's much more noticeable when because they have to. Yes, when you're a horn player, you have to worry about moving your fingers in time with the person next to you. But it's like they have to worry about like the stick heights.
Yeah, and you
bounce.
see that.
Yeah, you can literally see it.
So my dad was not that good, and he so like the worst thing that could ever happen was they put insulation in your drum to like silence you on the field. So like they didn't have mics because it was the 70s, and so they would shove insulation into your drum, and you would be softer than the rest of your people, and you'd be cleaner.
They being like other drummers.
No. Like staff would put insulation in your drum.
Like staff.
Yeah, like it was. That was like an executive decision. So like, now for like horns, they would just be like, hey, take this part out, take these 2 measures out,
Yeah.
and then come in here, or play the different version, or play here, or breathe there. But for drums, it's like you can't not play.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, we'll just shove insulation in your drum because you're that bad.
And not tell you about it, by the way.
Yeah. Facts.
You're playing your heart out, like.
Yeah, and
What's
you're just like,
going on?
I'm so good. Blah. And I think it was Spirit of Atlanta had like an accident where their trailer like flipped, which was like catastrophic. I think a staff member got like really injured and/or died. Not for sure. Don't quote me on that.
Something bad happened.
Something bad happened. The trailer flipped and it ruined a ton of instruments. So Dad's instrument, so his drum head, his snare head, like broke, and like he had to fix it. Drum heads, you got to unscrew the whole thing. You got to put a new one on. And so he unscrews all of these bolts, and he opens it up, and there's like just a ton of insulation in his drum. And like he tells me, he was like, that was like one of the worst moments of my life, because he was just like,
man.
I'm that guy.
It's
I'm
like
that guy.
It's like if you were to play a show with your horn and you get done and you look and there's just a mute in your horn. And you're like,
Oh, I'm that guy.
Somebody shoved a mute.
And without
in
your
my
knowledge,
horn.
again,
Yeah.
you have no clue. Like at least with like horns, they're like, hey, don't play this part, and you're like, okay, I can work up to it. I can get there. But it's like, nah, they just weren't even gonna give you the chance. They were just gonna shove insulation in there.
Because they have, imagine if they were like, hey, so you're bad. There's gonna be insulation in your drum, but we need you to like match stick heights and just
we need you
look
to get
good and
Yeah.
just try. You'd be like, no, I'm not gonna
No,
do that.
You would say no.
You're right.
Yeah,
We've
you're
been
right.
over this. I would say no. I would say no to a lot of things.
That's really funny. Yeah, so Dad, sorry. He eventually got really good. There was like a thing, it was like your qualification or your like your initiation into the snare line is when you were able to hit a fly with the stick of your, like the head of your stick.
Yeah.
And because one, fly's really tiny, but you would have to, like if a fly like landed on your drum head, you'd have to just like bink.
Right.
And with one shot. And Dad did it like once, I think, at some point in the summer. Could you imagine? That'd be
That'd
be nice.
Another testament to how good your dad was is I remember he told me a story where he said that there was some parade of all the corps or just something along the lines of where he was hearing a bunch of corps at once in sequence, and he said that he would hear like cadences to like rival corps, and that day or that night on the bus their whole drum line would like
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, he said that they would like remember the cadence.
No. So the staff guy, so again, Spirit of Atlanta started, and they wanted to get ahead, and they wanted to show, hey, because they made fun of them. They were like, there's no way
like
a drum corps from the South could make it.
They wanted to flex.
Yeah. And so a staff member had a video recorder, and I think it was Blue Devils or Vanguard.
I just know it was rival.
Yeah. And it was like King.
Yeah.
Top level drum corps.
Like, don't mess with us, dog.
Yeah, it's like if you were to put like Blue Devils now and then like Legends. Like Legends is like DCI Corps. So are they DCI? No. They're DCI. Not for sure. Ugh, sorry, Legends. But yeah, like that
Blue
big
Star.
No. Blue Star's really good. But like that big of a difference as far as like a new corps just showed up and then like Blue Devils, you know, hold to this high standard or whatever. But yeah, no, you're right. They recorded it, and then they would spend the bus ride from then to the next show learning the cadence.
And they'd play it verbatim.
Yeah.
Back to them.
My favorite stuff, though, is like they would do it, and then the drum corps got pissed off because it was the start of it was the start of the tonal bass drums. So like before, it was just like the normal like Sousa March bass drums where they're like boom ching of just like everything. But then they started like tuning the bass drums differently, and it was like all that crap. And they were like the first ones. And I don't know if it's Blue Devils. Please correct me. Find out. Like send me a message or something. But yeah, they figured that out, and they were like, well, let's do it. And Spirit of Atlanta like came on right after them and was like, let's play the same cadence. And everyone was like, what?
I could just just imagine you're playing your cadence, and then like as you stop playing your cadence, you're like,
You're like, wait.
Did everybody else stop? And then you just hear it in the distance, just your cadence.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Like, it's different from, like, hearing the same high school show or, like, hearing the same song from another corps. It's like, no, you wrote that cadence.
You wrote it.
Yeah. And then not only that, but it's the thing in all of drum corps, and some rookie corps is playing it. My favorite, though, is to flex harder, they had a battle or something where the drum lines would meet and they played the same cadence.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't know if it was BD. BD would play it, and then Spirit of Atlanta did it, but they switched everybody. And so, like, the cymbal players would get on the snare drums.
Right.
Snare drums would get on the bass line. Tenors would move. Yeah. So, like, they would literally
Look
switch
what
jobs.
we can do.
And they played the exact same. And I was like, ugh, imagine, dude. That's an L. That's a total L on the top chorus part.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But, like, big dub for Spirit. That's awesome.
Couldn't imagine, man. Couldn't imagine the feeling.
Yeah. And then, again, Dad had an insulation in his drum, so, oh, well. But honestly, look, okay, I'll give you an example. We were in Texas, and Derek Gibson, great, excellent brass tech, incredible. Like, his knowledge is stupid good. Why this man does not have an award for just being the human being that he is, have no clue. Either way, Derek's a socially awkward person. Maybe not awkward is the right word, but until you know him, he just seems very stone-faced or very, like, professional. I had been screwing up this triple-tonguing feature that we had on the show day after day after day. And we'd literally, like, we'd go down the line, and then he'd stop on me, and I'd play it, like, 6 times. And I was just, like, couldn't get it. Like, the back of my tongue was too soft, or the front of my tongue was too soft, or they weren't equal, or it was just a problem. It was a big problem. And eventually he was like, hey, just don't play that. I got back on it. Second time, got back on it. We had just finished brass block, and I'm getting food, like, it's lunchtime. And I'm, like, going to the high school. I'm beat. It's Texas hot. I'm like, blech. It's disgusting. And I just want to sit down. I want to clear my head. I want to eat so I can get back and, like, do my job when it comes time
just
to do
a
it.
mental reset.
Yeah. And Derek, this socially inept kind of person, he greets me, and he's like, hey, Kendall. This most inviting, big grin on his face. I'm like, this is interesting. Plus, he didn't know my name for half the season.
Right.
So I was like, this is a big deal. Like, my name's getting called out.
Sums up.
He's inviting. Like, this dude's got something for me. Or he just wants to talk because he's a good dude, which he is.
He's opening up.
He said, hey, so on that triple tonguing, and then he just destroyed me for 10 minutes. 10 minutes of just like, yeah, you just really need to focus on digga-digga-digga-digga. And I was just like, Derek, what? And I was just getting reamed. And Derek, again, he is no bullshit. He's just very straightforward and not in a rude way. He's just like, hey, this is what you need to do.
We've all met one of those people.
Yes, and for all those teachers out there, don't give your kids false hope, but also don't discourage them by telling them how bad they are. You really need to lay out the line. The worst thing you can do is tell someone a lie of how good they are. It defeats any motivation. It defeats their work ethic, and they plateau. Derek did not do that ever. And even when I was like dying, he was like, yeah, you really need to work. And I was like, God, okay, got it, Derek. Thanks. Yeah, me and Derek, man. That was really bad. It was terrible. But it's okay. I eventually got on the... I got cut twice. Got cut twice off of that part. And then eventually got it back. Thank you, Scott, by the way. Not that he just let me in. Like, I seriously had to work on it. You know, the worst part was we worked on this feature, and our arranger had just put in this, like, really awesome... He just added, like, this whole extra, like, 10, 15 seconds of, like, a hold and a big chord. And I didn't have a mouthpiece that day.
How do you not have a mouthpiece?
What was it? Oh shoot!
Guys, we're gonna get together. Practice as a corps, a drum corps.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know why I didn't have a mouthpiece. Or no. I had a mouth. Okay, I didn't have a horn. That's why. we had.
That's literally remarkably worse.
No. I got an
I can
explanation.
see you losing a
Okay,
mouthpiece.
the pinky ring that I told you about first podcast. Go listen to it. Podcast, Sandbag Show, anywhere you find podcasts. You liked it?
Where you found this podcast.
Yeah, facts. So I was telling you in episode 1, like my pinky ring was gone, and so they fixed that, and then squish horn, and then bus horn, all the same day, and so there was no extra horns, and I had no horn, and they had just dropped this new dope part of the show, and I had to play it on mouthpiece. And I was just like, wee, and the whole chord was just like, boom, and just like playing these like dope chords, and I was just like, wee. It's stupid. It was stupid. I was so pissed that day.
You know, I've never had, going back to the triple tongue thing.
Yeah.
I've never personally like experienced a piece of music or a lick in a piece of music or anything that I just genuinely just like can't play. Like I've just never had that, and just hearing you talk about it sounds pretty frustrating. I'm glad I didn't have that.
Are you just bragging?
I'm just flexing in a way.
Guys,
imagine not
William
being able to
Anger,
play.
the best trombone player ever.
Imagine not being able to play your horn. That's all I'm saying.
And again, like what, a year of high school band?
If you add the days. Little cross multiplication.
Yeah. Cross multiplication? You
It's-
getting smart in here?
It's a small amount
Small
of days that I
amount.
was there.
God, that's rough. Something I found that was really funny. I don't know if I've ever told you this. Speaking of getting wrecked and getting murked and your body getting destroyed, drum corps is a dangerous activity. You shouldn't do it. Never do drum corps. It's terrible.
I
Terrible for
disagree
your body.
entirely. I feel like a lot of people enjoy it, Kendall.
Yes, yeah, facts. Okay, so one of my best friends, Taylor Reynolds, he won't mind if I say his show. We'll probably have him on the podcast here soon. I think in July he might be coming down. I don't know. Look out for that.
Can't
maybe. So Taylor Reynolds, he spent some money, and okay. So sorry. Background. We go to spring training, and some corps have like a dedicated place that they do spring training on, and then some corps like don't. And so they just do the whole drum corps tour thing where they sleep in like a gym or something for like all of spring training. Well, my corps was bougie, and we had a whole like college campus, and we had dorms. So we had like, well, they were terrible beds, but like we had like room, and that was nice. Either way, we have to go from like, it's at least like a 2-mile trek to the field house.
Yeah.
And then we have to go back, and then we literally went back and forth this long college campus all the time, everywhere, to do certain activities and certain blocks. So Taylor got the bright idea of, most people, they use scooters. And
Heard about that.
yeah. Scooter gang for our corps. Pretty legit. I don't like scooters. Scooters make my hips feel weird. Like it just doesn't compute. What? I'm like on one leg.
Makes my hips feel weird.
Okay, whatever. Either way, I didn't get a scooter, but Taylor was like, "Bro, screw this. I'll get a longboard." And he spent some money on it and got a boosted board. You know those? But he got like an off-brand. It was good, but not that good, you know?
I'm pretty sure I know what they are. I've just never heard of like the brand Boosted.
Yeah. So they're an electric skateboard.
Yeah, electric.
Yeah. And this thing goes wickedly fast.
The nice ones are bougie.
Stupid
Yeah,
fast.
it's crazy.
Okay, I didn't know how they worked. Like, okay, have you seen the one wheel? Where it's like a big tire in the middle?
No.
Okay, that one's nice. I think you use it with like motion.
Right.
Kind of like a hoverboard.
I know like the ripsticks. Like where you go back and forth to make it
Yeah,
move.
but that's manual. I'm talking like, is it a hoverboard? What's the little?
Yeah, where you Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hoverboard.
Okay. It's kind of like that. You just lean into one direction.
Accurate descriptions with
Yeah,
literally.
sorry.
Hoverboard. Yeah.
For those people who are just listening, that makes no sense. But this boosted board had like you attached like a little like a handle, like a remote, and that determined how fast you were going.
Oh.
That's like, it was bougie.
Oh wow.
You like we strapped that thing to your arm, and then you just clicked it into overdrive, and you were zooming.
The only experience I've had with one of those in person was I was going to one of my really good friends' wedding. You were there.
Tyler's wedding?
Yeah, we were going to Tyler's wedding.
Okay.
and we're just driving.
I like how these people just don't know who
Yeah,
these people are.
we're just going to one of our really good friends. His name is Tyler.
Got it.
We're going to his wedding. Long overdue wedding. Anyway.
Agreed.
We're just driving in the car. I don't remember exactly where we're at, but we're going at decent speed, 25, 30, and we just look to our left. There's a dude on a skateboard just cruising.
Oh, yeah, he was like right beside us.
Yeah, just staying with us. It's like, oh.
He was just like, okay, all right. Yeah, he was balling. So Taylor had one of these, and no accidents, no problems. He was able to get to, all these blocks super fast and ahead of time, and he could just sandbag around. Nice plug.
He's not even winded.
Yeah, not even winded. Stupid. And I was like, okay, whatever. Because he was a vet. He knew what had happened. He was a rookie before. And so I've been trying it out a few times, and that thing it's fast.
It's fun.
Stupid fast. Okay, so he's coming back one day, and God, I don't even know. Was it on the? Yeah, it was on the way back. We had just finished rehearsal. It was at night, and he had his horn, he had his backpack, and all of his gear, and he was literally heading back to the dorms, and he hit a rock. This dude.
And he hit a rock.
Yeah, this dude like ate it, like just screwed up, just all over the pavement.
Happens, man. Happens to the best of us.
Here's the thing. This is drum corps. You don't get to just like wrap your knee and sit down and be like, okay. Well, okay, some people do different injuries, but like if you got like a scratch or like bloody, like you just wrap it and you keep going.
Show must go on.
The problem is though, you sweat. And like if you get water or like moisture into a wound, like it doesn't heal as fast. Like you got to keep it
hurts.
Yes, facts. Facts. If you don't have it like bandaged up all the time, like there's a certain period of time where it can get, wet and whatever. So this dude just ate it. His whole leg is just destroyed. So he comes in and he's like, dude, do I go to med staff? And I was like, bro, you need to go to med staff. And he's like, well, they aren't answering. It's 11 at night because we just finished rehearsal. And he was like, nobody's up. And he's like, I couldn't find anybody. And he's just in pain. You could tell.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
And Taylor's one of those dudes that's just like, he's just going to grunt it out.
Yeah.
And he's just going to be like, tough it out. And if he's going to do anything, he's going to curse and he's going to scream. So he's in his dorm. And I come in and I'm like, what are you? Like, you're just a bloody mess. And he's just like, ugh. And I'm like, you need to get this checked out, bro. There's like rocks in your skin. Like, that's a problem, dude. And so I was like, bro, I got a med kit. I could fix you up. And he's like, what? And apparently, like, people just don't prepare for drum corps. Like, I don't know. Coming in as a rookie, I packed so much stuff that I just didn't need.
I remember I was there.
I packed like a sewing kit.
Huge.
I packed like I had everything. We'll talk more about what my bag is. We could do that. But I had everything. I had a med kit, brought it in, and I started wrapping this dude up. Well, first, he had to take a shower. He was still gross. And I was like, bro, go take a shower. And this dude gets in. Well, one, he likes music. And so, like, you hear, I don't know, like Post Malone going on or whatever. And so, like, you hear this chill music. And then you just hear the shower go on, and you hear him get in. And he just goes, ah! 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 And he's just like screaming. And you hear him like through the door. And so we're trying to have this conversation with some people that came in and visit us. And you just hear Taylor in the background. Oh, God. Oh. And he's just like screaming real loud.
Can't get worse.
Yeah. And finally he comes out and he's just stone-faced. He's just pissed at this point. And I sit him down. I'm like, hey, I know you just got in water, but I got to clean that. And he's like, what do you mean? It's like, I got to put alcohol on it. And he was like, okay, got it. And we just sat him down and I propped his leg up and he's just like,
One of those things, man, you can't be like too mad at yourself. It's a rock, but it's like that damn rock.
Yeah. That, rough, dude, rough. And what's funny is like I bandaged him up and he was literally just going to like tie like a t-shirt to it. And I was like, what do you mean?
Stop the bleeding.
Yeah. Bro, like, you're not, like, in a dire situation. You have people that are here to do this. And Taylor was just like, nah, dude, I'll just wrap it. And so I bandaged him up, and then he got checked out by med staff and later. But, dude, Taylor Reynolds, get yourself checked, bro. Like, and, again, he had that thing for the longest time. You should have seen him in rehearsal. He had the straightest legs ever, bro. He was just, like, stiff as a board. Everything hurt. And I think he also had, like, something on his ankle, too. So it was just rubbing against the shoe. It was bad, bro. It was so bad.
Be safe, kids. Was he wearing a helmet?
No, not at all. No one wears a helmet.
Nobody wears it. I wear a helmet. Speak for yourself.
You wear a helmet?
Yes, sir.
Tell me one time you've biked. Yeah. Tell me
I've
one time.
biked, and every time I've biked, I've wore a helmet.
You sure about that?
I'm really sure about that.
My voice went out. Sorry.
I'm positive about it. If
What-
I didn't, if
what
I
do you
didn't
usually drive?
what I usually drive,
Yeah, like if you're not like a you bike, do you skateboard? What do you do?
like for fun
Yeah.
or for commuting. Oh, I mean, if I had to choose, I'd bike, but I prefer like walking.
You just don't bike?
Not generally.
I don't know, man. Wear safety equipment, but if you don't want to, just, whatever. Take that at your own risk.
I'm gonna say do it.
I've never worn a helmet. Okay, the one time I did wear safety guard stuff was rollerblading. Rollerblading's dangerous, and I wore hand guards because if you trip, and you try to,
Rollerblading's dangerous.
it is, bro.
But biking and skateboarding, nah.
Skateboarding's a different story.
Nah.
Skateboarding's different, but biking, bro, you on the Sunset Drive,
My-
you're gonna fall over, bro.
My little brother broke his arm in 4 different places.
Broke his
Biking.
arm.
Biking. All he
Yeah.
did was fall.
I just think your brother's. I was gonna say weak, but I don't know. I don't know if that's the correct term.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
He's my brother.
Okay, yeah, facts. He is your brother. That's a weird bit of deja vu. Don't know what that was. I don't know. Wear a helmet. Wear a Shaco. You know what? Wear a Shaco. Have the marching gods protect you. That's really funny.
I'm gonna pass on the Shaco.
Yo, so I brought my bag in, or I just have it. I'll show you what I keep. All right, so one, I got a tactical bag because it's got all this like webbing on it. I can just hook stuff on, like carabiners. If you march drum corps, get carabiners. Carabiners are a lifesaver. One, you need a couple things for drum corps. You need for sure 2 different types of sunscreens. If you get the air spray stuff, it like sweats off really easily. You're gonna have to reapply it, and sometimes you don't have time for that. Plus, it's uber expensive compared to lotion. Get the lotion if you can. If you can, get the lotion, put that on your body, then spray your face and the small areas, and then you can tag team, have a little bit of both, and that'll last you drum corps. I made the mistake of just doing air. That was a bad move. Bad move. Also, you're gonna need a hat. Wear a hat. Get a hat. You can get a floppy hat. You can get dad hats. That's my preferred. Dad hats are the best. I don't know. Just wear something over your head because you're going to need it. Depending on the hair that you have, I have long hair. Didn't have a ton of long hair in drum corps, but I had a ton of like hair ties because we had several women in the corps, and I don't know. They may need it. Whatever. Don't spread lice, but like, I don't know. Keep it. But of course, I had a med kit with me. Granted, it's more sophisticated now because I'm not dumb and I did stuff with it, you know. But now I just keep this in general because I'm just like, screw it. I'll just take it with me wherever I go. Plus, I'm a tech now. Have been for a while, and I don't know. High school band kids are dumb. Have been dumb, and they just need stuff, bro. One, I had a big fat thing of allergy meds with me, the big horse pink pills, because allergies screw me over in the summer. I'm just allergic to everything, pollen specifically. That's why I hate Georgia. That's why I hate where I live.
It'll get you.
It's terrible. Don't like it. Advil, Tylenol.
I've been pollen free since 09.
What now?
I said I've been pollen free since 09.
Really?
No, I'm just not allergic.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Look at you. Best trombone in the world. Not allergic to stuff. Wow. Gee, he's just bragging on himself all day.
I feel good.
Yeah. I feel good.
Podcast number 2, baby.
Yeah. Friday night. You feel good. 12 in the morning. I made the mistake of getting like liquid gels. Those melt. I don't know why I didn't think about that. But literally I took them out of my bag in drum corps and I'm like, I can't get anything
You're
out.
talking
It's
about
just like a big
like medication?
Yeah. Like
Dude.
like Tylenol or like ibuprofen, like liquid
yeah.
gels. They just stuck together. And I was like, well, this is useless.
It's like
so
one big candy.
yeah. And it was like, well, you can't just eat a chunk of
Just
it.
take
like
a bite. How big of a bite is around 1,000 milligrams, you think?
Yeah. You're gonna think 1,000 milligrams?
Yeah, the extra strength, 1,000
Oh, okay.
milligrams.
All right, whatever. Keep some meds with you. If you have specific prescriptions, also take those.
Obviously.
Yes, of course. But
If you need an inhaler, bring an inhaler.
facts. Bring multiple if you can. Drum corps is all about like over preparing because a lot of times that's the right amount. I keep this little small guy of triple antibiotic. Keep ointment in there. Keep a ton of Band-Aids. Neosporin, hydrocortisone cream. I keep Benadryl in there. Alcohol wipes. I keep a knife and some nail clippers. Keep Blistex, nose, eye stuff. Just small stuff. Anything that like get a cut, bruise, whatever. I don't know. You end up banging yourself up.
The huge.
Yeah, the huge. The small stuff. Oh wow, moving the mic already. And then I got like a big thing. I got everything in here. I got gauze,
Big
sports tape. I got everything. Scissors. Also, if you're a female, you'll already pack this because you need it. But as a man, if you, I mean, you don't have a period, but that needs to be talked about, I feel like. So if you're a tech and you don't carry stuff for, that specific instant, I don't know how to talk about it. I don't experience this at all. This is weird. But keep stuff for that. Tampons, pads, anything. Just keep something. It's better to have something and not need it.
They're good for nosebleeds too.
Facts. I've never experienced one.
It's a pro tip.
Yeah, pro tip.
I've never had a nosebleed either.
Yeah. And you just know.
I know.
Yeah.
Because it's a pro tip.
Facts. I also keep a marker. I keep a lot of like stuff that I would just need if like I lost everything. But gauze, alcohol pads again, gloves. You definitely need gloves. I keep an X-Acto knife in here as well. I also have a tourniquet, but I don't think you're gonna need a tourniquet in drum corps.
A what?
A tourniquet.
I don't know what that is.
It's the strap that they put on you, like if you're just like your arm's mangled and bleeding, it stops bleeding.
Oh,
Yeah, you know how like
sweet.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to stop bleeding?
So like if you really get mangled, I feel like you should leave that up to like the medical professionals.
If you have your booster board on ludicrous speed,
if you got your Tesla ludicrous speed board. I also keep another one of these things here. We were talking about horn mechanics last podcast, but I keep everything I need for like a brass instrument.
ooh-wee.
Yeah, I keep those screwdrivers.
I don't see any
Screwdrivers in the back.
Ooh.
Yeah, don't doubt me on that. Extra horn string. I keep grease, 2 types. I keep trombone slide cream in here. Keep several types of valve oil. What else do I have here? Alcohol wipes, Q-tips, polish, and I keep a drum key as well. So for me, that's just all like I'm a tech now, so I take care of my people. Safety pins also. I don't know why I didn't mention that. But I'm like the type that I want to be prepared for anything, even if someone like loses their leg, I want to be like able to help them. Or if I lose my leg, just, I don't know, whatever.
Somebody to be able to help me.
Yeah, facts.
Just get my bag.
Another thing I like and I love, I'm all about like not having to waste material if I don't have to. These are collapsible cups. They're plastic. They're like 67 cents. And for squinch, for water, whatever you need for like drum corps, this is great because we go through a ton of plastic cups if you don't have one, and it's legit.
It's actually pretty awesome. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, facts. It's legit, and you can literally get them at Walmart.
It's like
camping section.
mobile beer pong.
Just have a ton of them. I also have reusable utensils. These are really great. They get lost a lot. Again, carabiner. Gotta have those. I should keep everything. Pencil, pad, deodorant, your normal stuff, sunscreen. I'm trying to think. I'm blanking everywhere. But yeah, honestly, a bag's great to have. You don't have to carry all of that. That's just what I carry. I like it because I feel prepared. I feel like I can handle other people. I can maintain. And I was a section leader and a band captain for a long time, so it was like I was already like in charge of other people, and I just wanted to be prepared for like people that I needed to help or whatever. Or if you just want to like be egotistical like somebody over here and just keep stuff for yourself. Wasn't prepared for that transition, were you?
Hey, actually, speaking of bags,
Bags.
I mentioned to you, I think it was yesterday, we wanted to talk about this. We've been working out here recently. We've been trying to maintain some
Hi.
form of physical regime, I guess. Trying to do
regime.
it. We've been
Regiment.
I don't know. We've it definitely cooled off here. We've been focusing more on the podcast and just I quit my job, other things like that. But when we do work out, we like to walk long distances, including running with weight. And my form of weight that I have is just a backpack full of rocks, just rocks that I found on the ground. And my favorite thing to do of all time is when somebody's getting in my car or it's wherever I have my bag full of rocks. It's when somebody needs it to be moved. I never want to move it just because the sentence, "Yo, could you move my bag of rocks?" is just the best ever. And everybody's like, "Your bag of what?" And it's like, "Just my bag of rocks. Just get it out of there." It's so nice. It's like, "What do you have in here? Rocks?" Exactly.
Yes, facts. Rocks.
It's the best ever.
Yeah, honestly, on top of that, we talked about what you could have in your bag for drum corps, but also physical fitness needs to be maintained. I thought I had a good schedule going into rookie season. Didn't at all. Anything is better than nothing, for sure. We like to ruck. It's a form of
that's what it's called. I forgot.
Yeah, ruck or like hiking. You just shove a ton of weight in your bag and you just walk a long distance. Military does it a lot. That's how they, maintain keeping all their gear and stuff. It's good for drum corps because you're going to be carrying a bag and extra equipment anyways. Lifting weights for anybody. You don't have to be a meathead to be physically fit and to be ready.
It's not even so much as your bodybuilding as you're just becoming more capable.
Facts. I love that word.
It's like, I don't know. I go from 50 to 80 pounds whenever I ruck. And it's like I'm carrying 50 to 80 pounds for 6 miles. It's like I should have no problem lifting my couch up my stairs.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Same thing with like lifting. If you just do a ton of squats, like weighted squats, those are intense. And they just build your body. One, that helps. Physical fitness is one thing that just changes so many areas of your life all at once. Like mentally, all the endorphins and all the chemicals that are in your body on top of all your muscles, and then just your physical appearance changes a ton. I'm talking leadership with the band that I'm working with currently, and we're going through talking about why physical fitness is important. I know in high school, I didn't care. I really didn't. I fit in the clothes that I was given, and I was like, all right, I don't care. And then it was banned, So it was like, I only have to do this for like a month. And then I don't know, we didn't do sports. We did like Frisbee. That was like the hardest thing that we ever did.
Kick ass at Frisbee, though.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Just maintaining physical fitness, I think, is a priority just in life, but especially with drum corps, for sure. Lifting weights, cardio, anything like that.
I have, for somebody who I just hate running, like the exercise of running. I don't know. I've just always hated it, the way it makes me feel.
Yeah, facts.
And the rucking, like adding weight to my walks, it's definitely helped the way I work out and how much I enjoy working out.
Yeah.
It's just completely different because now instead of dreading it, I just feel like walking, and afterwards I'm more winded.
Yeah, facts.
I'm not saying it's easy and like, just a piece of cake. It's just
something you'd rather do.
I mentally like it more because I don't know. I just hate running. So I hate running. I hate Red Lobster. Don't do those things.
That's facts. I get you. Rucking's a good thing for that. I feel like drum corps, you're gonna need it mentally. Anything. It's just improves your overall quality of life, I think. Dude, good second podcast. Look at us changing things around. Not so terrible this time. I feel like we can do better. I don't know. We're a bunch of losers anyways. Well, thank you for joining us, people. If you have any more questions, if you want to send us some stuff, if you got artwork, you got music, you got suggestions, you got interviews that you want us to do, send us all that way. The Sandbag Show at gmail.com, all that there. And of course, as you can see, if you're watching us on YouTube for the video version, you can see we are on Apple Podcasts, we are on Spotify, we're on Stitcher. Dude, No one sent me that Amazon Alexa video. Send me some Amazon Alexa. Freaking, like, look us up. Do it. I want to see it. Dude, we're everywhere. Everywhere for podcasts. And then you can find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, The Sandbag Show. It's good. It's good. We're probably going to have some extra content, I feel, on Facebook and Instagram here soon. And then, yeah, I mean, you can just find us there. It'll give us, you know, a more connection. You can DM us, talk to us about anything. And again, suggestions. And then, yeah, if you want to find us, you can find me at Kendall McNelly anywhere. William still doesn't have Instagram or any. You don't have social media. You still don't. Are you gonna get that?
Probably not.
Oh, okay. All
Unless
right,
I
whatever.
get a career that I need it, but nah.
You don't need it.
I'll find you guys.
Yeah, facts. He didn't need it for Red Lobster. Doesn't need it now. Anyways, that's a good. I think it's a good ending. Thanks, everybody. Bye.